All right, Dr. Kevin is here with the Bryant Wellness Institutes. So what do you have for us today, Chief?
Well, this month is our Healthy Workplace Month at the Bryant Wellness Institutes. And so we're focusing on corporate wellness all month long. And so we have lots of programs that we do for that month. And what that means basically is Corporate Wellness Month means that we have companies that I go into personally, and I teach their employees drug-free ways that they can be healthier and prevent injuries and, do things to get healthier in the workplace and prevent problems from developing from whatever they're doing in their job. And so some examples, I'll give you one example. I have one program called Stay Fit While You Sit that we do for people that are at a desk all day.
I think that's fantastic.
So people that sit at a desk, they're going to have a specific set of conditions or body problems because of what they do. Mm-hmm. People that stand at a machine, at a machine shop or something like that, they have a specific set of problems their body is going to develop. And so corporate wellness is how we go in and we kind of work all that out and find ways that we can solve some of that for the different companies, and companies love this. And so
so what you do, you go in and you talk to the big guy, the head guy, and you say, I want to do this for your employees, and then they get them all together in a room.
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, we can do it that way. It depends on how many employees they have. Like we might do groups of 20. Like if they have 500 employees, we don't do them all at once. Like we'll take the desk workers and do one for them. We'll take the guys back in the shop and do one for them. It just kind of depends on what
their needs are different.
You design something specifically. Okay,
it's designed for the company. We have about 10 different programs we do for businesses right here in the Acadiana area, depending on what their job description is. But the truth is, companies need this right now. Business owners and managers are looking for creative ways that they can decrease their workers' injuries, decrease big-time healthcare costs, and increase their productivity and profits. And this program helps with that all at the same time. And
I would imagine more people show up for work when they feel better.
Absolutely. So it helps with sick days. You have less people calling in. All of that, when you boil all of that down, it helps the company be stronger, have better profit margins, and function better. Mm-hmm. And so what a lot of business owners forget is that the health of your employees directly relates to the health of your business. And ran down.
Well, a lot of people forget they are the business.
Exactly. And so
if you work for Baker Hughes, that's Baker Hughes is just a sign by the road.
Exactly.
It's the people.
Yeah. And so ran down employees are not as productive. People that don't feel well, they don't produce as much. They have more injuries. They have more sick days. And that's not good in today's business climate. Things are very competitive. Things are very tight out there. And so to have someone come in and try to make your employees feel better and be healthier is really a good thing to do. So I've created a wellness program that's really unlike anything out there in Louisiana that's being done, because there are wellness programs that are being done, but not like this. And so I've implemented this program for some of Acadiana's really best, largest companies. I mean, I've been in Exxon and Cameron Valve and Entergy and Schlumberger, but we also do smaller companies like banks and grocery stores and restaurants. And so it doesn't matter if you have 5 or 500 employees. This is still a great thing to do. Now, what makes my program different than many of these, quote, wellness programs that's being done, and a lot of those are insurance-based. So in other words, if you have Blue Cross does this quote-unquote wellness program where they send somebody out to your business and they come in and do a wellness program. Well, basically, that has nothing to do with wellness. All they really do...
Cookie cutter?
Yeah, they check everybody's blood pressure and blood sugar, and let's get them on drugs early. That's basically all they... Now,
well, hello, Blue Cross this morning.
Now, at the most, maybe we give you a gym membership the company pays for. Like, that's about all they do. And that's not going to change the company's bottom line. That's not going to get in there and work out problems. So my program is designed to solve problems that companies have in the areas where actually statistically most employees have health problems. Now, after researching this, almost all employee health problems, and I'm talking as far as sick days, injuries, healthcare costs, low productivity, if you boil all of that down, all of the quote-unquote profit killers a company is dealing with, there are 3 underlying problems that can handle like 90% of employee problems. Number 1 is unmanaged employee stress. That's the first one.
Yeah.
we got that.
Yeah, all companies, everybody's stressed out. Now, the second one is having employees with weight problems. That's number 2.
Well, we got that too.
And then number 3 is repetitive motion injuries, meaning doing the same thing over and over and over again, like checking groceries or typing.
What? Wait a minute. I have a question about that. What happens when somebody does the same thing over and over and over, day in and day out? What happens?
Well, they're going to develop injuries. They're going to develop health problems in the area that they're stressing.
Isn't that why they tell you when
Okay.
you're working out not to do the same set of exercises every day, all the time?
Right.
You're supposed to vary it
So
up.
So like if somebody is bagging groceries and they do that every day, so there are going to be parts of their body that never get any rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So especially the ones checking the groceries, because they pick up the item, they flip their wrist and scan it across the bar and then set it on the other side. They do that all day long.
And you know they hear that beep in their sleep.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And so these 3 areas are where businesses are literally bleeding profits. And so this might not be something that bosses want to talk about, but statistically, these are the 3 areas you need to address with a wellness program. Unmanaged stress and what that's doing to your employees, having employees with weight problems, and then also not handling these repetitive motion injuries. So we're going to take a look at these 3 things whenever we get back from break, and I'm going to tell you how my corporate wellness program actually comes in and solves these 3 underlying problems. And if we can solve these 3 things, we can eliminate the vast majority of employees being, not feeling well and being sluggish and low productivity. So right after the break, we'll break all this down. If you boil almost all employee health problems down that corporations need to address and is not being done, it's having employees that are stressed out, having employees that are struggling with their weight, and repetitive motion injuries. So the first one is stress. And, everybody you talk to today is stressed out. And most people don't realize, and listen, we've talked about this on the show many times, but just to review this really quick for anybody that didn't hear it, stress affects your adrenal glands. Whenever we get into stress, our body goes into fight or flight response. So we might just be stressed out at our boss or stressed out in traffic, and our body physiologically responds like we're in a fight or like we're being chased by a predator. When that
What
happens,
is it? Fight or flight? What is it?
yeah, fight or flight. So when we go into fight or flight, our blood pressure goes up so that we can fight or we can run. Our digestive system stops working normally. You're not going to digest your food in the middle of a fight. Your body shuts that off. Your sleep hormones stop working correctly, so you wake up in the middle of the night. And then your body produces a hormone called cortisol, which signals your body to store fat.
Every one of those things happen to me every time JC walks into the
Yeah,
building.
instantly. Yeah,
Instantly.
That's fight or flight. But is it fight or flight? That's what we don't know. So according to the research, this covers 60% of almost all sick days is something to do with digestive issues, sleep issues, weight issues, or heart issues. And so if we can just handle this one thing, we can literally change a company overnight if we can just handle the employee stress. Now, we have a way that we can test them for stress and to see if their adrenal glands are burnt out. It's a non-invasive test. And if we find that, we have an easy little solution. And that's been shown to increase energy by 40%, make them sleep better, make them, just feel better and be much, much more productive. So that's the first thing that we handle is let's manage the employee stress. Now, you can't just say you need to lower your stress. That's not going to happen.
Right.
The traffic's not getting any better. The bills aren't going away. But what we can do is we can support your body's adrenal glands, and that will make the stress not physiologically affect you as much. So that's the first thing that we do. Now, the second one is having overweight employees. And I hate to be the one to bring up this sensitive subject because it is one. But having overweight employees costs companies a lot. Pennsylvania University did a study, and it totals in the billions. $8 billion for health insurance every year, $2.4 billion for extra sick leave, $1.8 billion for lowered productivity, and $1 billion for additional disability claims.
And
because those patients get injured more often.
And you're using the B word.
Billions. Now, they divided this like a per employee cost. For every overweight employee, it costs companies an extra $1,034 per year per employee. Now, if statistically half of your employees are overweight, and they are, that's thousands and thousands of dollars being drained from a company simply because no one is helping them address their weight issues with their employees.
That's incredible.
And so I'm a nationally certified weight loss coach. I've coached hundreds of patients down to their healthier weight, and it's simple, it's easy, and I come in and show your employees how to do this. Now, listen, we don't embarrass anybody. We don't point any fingers. We don't say, hey, stand up. You have a weight problem or nothing like that. We just simply say, as a group, we have a company weight loss program. If you're interested, there's a box at the bottom of your paperwork. Check that box and we'll get with you about it. So it's real private. We don't say anything in front of anybody. It's all done one-on-one. But if they check that box, that means that, they want us to try to help them with their weight.
And if people check that box, they know.
Right. They know.
People know if they're overweight or not.
And people want help. Nobody's
Sure,
helped them with it.
That's right.
Nobody's come in and said, hey, I have something that's really going to help you this time. But smart companies are now offering proven weight loss programs for their employees. Companies like Microsoft and Apple, all of these smart companies are offering weight loss programs for their employees because they've looked at the statistics and they know that this affects their bottom line. It affects their profit margin. Now, the last thing we deal with is repetitive motion disorders. This is employees doing the same motion over and over. So, for instance, like typing, checking groceries, welding, turning wrenches, things like this. So if a mechanic is out there and he's turning wrenches all day long, that's tremendous strain on his hands and on his wrists. Now, just one carpal tunnel case, just one, can cost a company $22,000 a piece.
Wow.
So the most effective solution that's been tested nationally for this, is proven to work, is that we do a 5-minute stretching program before the employee starts their shift. And that the stretches are tailored to the area of body that they overuse. So, for instance, somebody that types all day, we have them do a 5-minute hand and wrist stretches that we give them on a piece of paper. We train them how to do it. And 5 minutes before they start, they do a little simple hand and wrist stretch. This warms up the tissues. And for welders, we do like a 5-minute upper back and shoulder and so on. So it just really depends on what the area that they're stressing. Now, listen, this has been shown statistically, it's proven, to reduce workers' comp cases by over 60% by a simple 5-minute stretch. Wow. And here's what we found. One of the big reasons why it works like that is because not only are you warming up the tissues, but it gets the employee's mind focused on what they're doing. It gets them to concentrate, okay, I'm using my hands, I'm using my wrists, or I'm using my back. I need to really pay attention to what I'm doing. So it gets them focused.
Makes sense.
And so it has been everywhere I've implemented this, and I implemented this for Cameron Valve and Exxon, lots of large companies. They have seen an immediate improvement, employees focusing and getting their body aligned.
Do you ever return for like a reminder, a refresher course?
Usually yearly.
Okay,
Yeah. Usually it's such a success, they'll have me come back usually more than once or yearly, sometimes more than once a year. Now, here's the best part of all this. In most cases, it will cost your company absolutely nothing to have me come in and do a program like this for you. I don't charge for this. I'm a local representative for the Foundation of Wellness Professionals. We are a nonprofit 501c3, just like the Red Cross. It's a national nonprofit, and we volunteer our time to spread wellness to organizations and companies. So if you're in the local area, if you're in my district, if you're in my area, I don't charge to come in and do this. And so, as a side note, if you're a member of a different organization, like you don't have to be a company. If you have a book club or a sewing club, I volunteer my time to come do these programs, and I'm obligated to do several of these a year. So if you have a book club or a sewing club,
I'm thinking about quilters.
Yeah. With wrist and hand problems. So if you have
what about us? Debbie Ray has been pushing my buttons for 20 years. I don't know what area you need to tend to.
It's this finger right here that needs work.
I think we should start right here, Doc. Start in our building.
That's it. So if you own a company, this program can add immediate revenue savings, happier employees, a safer workplace. It's really a smart thing to do. So we can set up, if you want to set up a discussion with me to sit down and kind of figure this out, it's Corporate Wellness Month. We do this every January. If you want me to come in and talk to you about kind of ways that we can improve your company, give me a call. Or if you're an HR director, if you're a supervisor, if you're an area supervisor, and you want, or even if you're an employee and you want me to come in, go ask your boss about it. Tell your boss about this program, and tell him you want me to come in, and I'll come in and and I'll train you guys on ways that you can be healthier. One of the things we do is we show you how to adjust your workspace, where we can show you how to adjust your desk chair and your computer and your keyboard so that you're not under so much stress every day. So we have some really, really cool things that we're doing for companies. So if you want to talk about this, give me a call this month, and we'll sit down and see what we can do.
That's awesome.
It's a cool thing.
I didn't realize it was free. That's awesome.
I love doing corporate wellness.
When you said that, I did one of those in my brain. I was like, did he just say free?
Yes, I don't charge for doing this. And number one, it promotes wellness. It gets our name out there. It helps fulfill my obligations with the Foundation for Wellness Professionals. It's a nonprofit organization. They've been around for 15 years. And so we spread these wellness programs in companies, and it's just a great thing all around. It's great for the company. It's great for the employees. It's great for us. We get some exposure. We get to talk to groups of people about wellness. So it's a fun little time. So if you want to call me about this, my office number is 837-7174. That's 837-7174. If you're an owner or an HR director, or if you're an employee that wants to talk to your boss about it, it's 837-7174. You can join us on Facebook, as always, at the Bryant Wellness Institutes.
Thank you, Doc. Dr. Kevin, Wellness Wednesday on KTD1.
Thanks, guys.